right, enough Arsenal. How about some quick hits instead?
Let's go, Gab.
Barcelona demolished Villarreal 4-1 as Real Madrid kick off in a few hours at home to Getafe. Shows that Lamine Yamal is pretty good. We can point out all the faults for Barcelona, but can we just celebrate the second goal?
Absolutely, the second goal. Although I like the third a lot because there's literally 2 millimeters to put the ball where he does between the post and the goalkeeper's finger. The third youngest ever player to score a hat-trick in La Liga. The other two are in the 30s, so they don't really count, let's be honest. I don't know what to say anymore. It was really interesting to hear him talk after the game about going through the injury and playing while not being 100% and how much he didn't enjoy his football. And I know it's very obvious and it's a bit of a cliche, but a lot of players play through pain, and it can't be nice. And especially for him, considering the way he plays and his game, to not be fully fit, it must have been quite frustrated. Now he's clearly back, which is, I think, worrying for everybody who's going to face him, all those left backs and left centre backs. But that was an incredible performance.
That should be a warning sign, by the way. If he comes out publicly and he says about playing through pain and how he's not enjoying it, already the minutes he's logging at 18 are a ton. You need to take this into account.
Yeah, absolutely. But what a pleasure to watch. And Real Madrid, as we say, are playing tonight. And we're speaking about them. The development in the Vinicius Junior racism case.
Yeah, there's a couple of things going on. One is Gianni Infantino, the FIFA president, going back to the Cristiani situation. He says that, if you cover your mouth when speaking to an opponent and your opponent accuses you, then that's evidence against you, which is freaking obvious. But I'm glad that he came out and he said it. Cristiani said, well, I covered my mouth because that's what players do. Every player does it. I mean, no, they really don't.
I don't know what football.
No, but you see it occasionally.
Yeah.
But in this context, I don't know. He's a moron. Benfica banned 5 fans who racially abused Vini. This was after the incident, not before the incident, should be stated. Good for them. They didn't have to do this. I mean, morally, maybe they should have had to do this, but I think we want to see clubs taking proactive steps. And even Jose Mourinho, who was so crucified by everyone for some of the really dumb things he said afterwards, he came out and he basically said that if Cristiani's found guilty, he's never going to play for Benfica again as long as Mourinho's there. That's significant.
Yeah, it's too late for me. I mean, after what he said on the night of the game, this is far too late. We're like, 10 days, more than 10 days after that first leg, and he comes out. He had plenty of opportunities before. I think it was what he said was really unacceptable, really damaging. He lost a lot of credit, I think. And you say that, but that's exactly that's what he should have said on the night of the game, not now.
All right, so you don't subscribe to the better late than never.
No, definitely not. Not in this case, for sure.
More Real Madrid. Looks like Kylian Mbappe will be out for 3 weeks, which means no Manchester City.
Yeah, he had more X-ray last week. They're really hoping he could be back for the second leg. The first leg is definitely out of question.
Tell us the problem, since you're medically adjacent.
Yeah, it's his left knee where he had pain before. They had first X-ray on December 7th, where they could see there was a bit of a tear on the ligament, which you thought, okay, you can still play on it. You won't be 100% to go back to Lamine, etc., etc. Do you want to play? He wanted to play. At that time, remember, he could have equaled or beaten Cristiano's record of the most goals over a calendar year. So he went for it, push. You may think it's a good thing, not a good thing. It doesn't matter so much. After that, he was still in pain. I think the club and Arbeloa especially still wanted him to play. I think he also, every player always wants to play, but he got to a point where you needed a rest, and the rest happens now. It's maybe not the great timing in terms of the Champions League and City, I get that, but I think there was even a time where they thought about surgery. So let's see. I think they're going to have special treatment all week here and see how he feels next Monday and see if maybe this is working. And like I said, maybe he can come back for the second leg.
France fans all want this out of the way before June.
Absolutely, man. Completely. Inter bounced back from the Bodo Glimt debacle and stayed 10 points clear at the top of Serie A with a 2-0 win against Genoa. Gab, Fede Di Marco, who we love on this show, is an absolute bowler.
Yes, so I'm going to wheel out some stats for you.
You should.
All right. First of all, he scored a ridiculous goal. You're the Techers guy.
Absolutely.
That's pretty good, yes?
Yeah, but he's capable of that. We know that.
All right. That is some finish. So he leads Serie A in assists this season. He has 14 assists.
It's incredible.
and he has 6 goals. That's 20 goal involvements. Now, if you take penalties, so in goal involvement, which is goals plus assists, he's 6th in Europe, or 7th. If you take penalties out of the mix,
Yeah.
okay, these are the standings, right? Kane, Erling Haaland, and Michael Elise have 26.
Yeah.
Luis Diaz is 23. And by the way, those Bayern guys, you do that with an
Yeah,
asterisk.
exactly.
You like to run up the
Yeah,
score, right?
Yeah.
And Lamine Yamal has 21. He just pulls ahead of him with his hat trick. Beyond that, he has 20. He is ahead even of one Kylian Mbappe once you take the penalties out.
Yeah, yeah.
That is incredible.
It
He's
is
still
incredible.
a defender.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I don't know.
that's
Special
remarkable.
remarkable. Jules, we're not done. We have more
Yes.
quick hits. I can't believe we've waited until now, but let's talk Klassiker. Bayern beat Borussia Dortmund away 3-2 thanks to a late Joshua Kimmich strike. Jules, to quote Animal House, it wasn't over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor, but I fear it may be now. You're not making up 11 points in 10 games without a head-to-head clash because that would violate the Marcotti principle.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's done. And to be fair, Bayern have been so impressive. And okay, I know they dropped points against Union or Hamburg. They lost to Augsburg at home. All of that, okay. But they've still been so good, so much better than Dortmund, who hadn't lost in between those two. Their Klassiker, by the way. And who caused them problems in this game? Schlotterbeck scored the first goal. And after that, I thought the
penalty?
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of a
But
brain
also,
fart.
I thought Dortmund played well. I thought all around in a game where they had to go and try to put them under pressure and be intense. And it was a really good watch on Saturday. In the end, there's still more quality for Bayern. And, it was, I don't think there's a debate on who deserved to win that game. I think it's a deserved win for Bayern. And that's it. That's the title done.
I think there is a debate of where Bayern are, though.
Maybe,
Because
yeah, sure.
for Dortmund, after suffering, the way they did in midweek, Bayern well rested. I think Bayern had played like 2 games in like the last 4 weeks. 2 midweeks.
Yeah.
Basically, turn it around. Dortmund have played an extra 2 midweek games, obviously, right? Takes a lot out of them. They have injuries and whatever else. To allow them to go and kind of set the tempo of this game and to effectively control this game to play the way they wanted to, that's not encouraging from Bayern.
No.
The defensive issues still there, and they don't finish their chances. So I don't know. The reason I bring all this up, Jules, is everybody seems to agree, right? Bayern, Arsenal, and City are a notch above everybody else in the Champions League. But Bayern are another team who can get a lot better and who needs to get a lot better.
Yeah. Washed up in the eternal City gap. Juve come from 2 goals down with 12 minutes to go to snatch a 3-3 draw at Roma. This was the comeback they could not manage in midweek in the Champions League.
Yeah, this was pretty huge because at that point, 3-1 down, they're 7 points out of the Champions League places, 7 points out of 4th place on the back of the Galatasaray aborted comeback, and they turn it around. Jeremy Boga scoring, a guy who, as we know, basically was quitting football. He wasn't even playing football in November and December. And then Federico Gatti coming on deep in injury time to get the 3-3 draw. I don't think Roma played badly, and I think in Pizzilli and Kone in midfield, Kone, check out his pass for the second goal. Ridiculous pass. They have a really good platform. I thought this was entertaining. We saw some great goals. Chico Conceição. But I think you usually take a lot of heart from this. Perino also channeling his inner Di Gregorio. Not great.
They have to stop conceding so many goals because it's 3-2. There was 2 against Lazio, 3 against Atalanta, 5 against Galatasaray.
But the reaction,
yeah,
I think.
True.
I again, grudgingly give Spalletti credit. Speedy Barcola scores the only goal as Paris Saint-Germain stay top of Liga and they win 1-0 at Le Havre. Jules, you were very hard on your boys in midweek. Are you going to be mean about that finishing in this game, given that they had 3.64 expected goals?
They missed another penalty. This time it's Doué. We've had Vitinha missing one, obviously, against Monaco. We've had Dembele missing one against Newcastle. They can't score the penalties
Just like
anymore.
Kvaratskhelia take the penalty.
Probably, that's probably next one on the list as well. Barcola playing as a 9, which was partly disappointing at times, but also... very good.
Scores a headed goal.
Yeah,
Speedy.
not the most traditional header, let's put it that way, but still. And in the end, I think it was a good win. They were happy. Kang In Lee was very good.
That Yeah, except when he missed the goal. But
Yeah.
Mori Zhao, that goalkeeper who I was not familiar with.
Paris born and bred
Tremendous,
from a PSG
tremendous
Academy
goal.
product. IFA met this weekend and confirmed a number of tweaks to the laws of the game, which will come into force at this summer's World Cup. Gav, give us a roundup, please.
Yeah, some were expected, some not so expected. Expected ones, we're going to have the VAR will be free to intervene on corner kicks and second yellows. It depends on the competition, so we will see that at the World Cup. There's a 5-second countdown for throw-ins now that the referee can do, just like they do with goalkeeper. Throwing goes the other way if you don't put the ball in within 5 seconds. If you get treatment, then or if you're slow to come off the pitch, there's penalties for that too. It seems all designed to speed up the game. Guess who scored his first league goal away from home in La Liga since opening day? Julien Alvarez, also his first goal from open play in La Liga since November. And it was a big one, as they took 3 points in injury time against Oviedo.
Yeah, massive, especially considering Villarreal lost, Barcelona, as we said before, and Betis as well. It was a huge win in a game where they didn't play great. Loads of substitutions from El Cholo,
7.
players resting. Yes, 7.
Resting because they're only 4-0 up from the first leg against
I know,
Barcelona.
but you don't. Even us to think that there might be a remontada. I think you probably want everybody to be super fit and super ready. And for Alvarez to come off the bench and score in the 94th minute, the winner, is good. I don't know if it's enough to call it redemption. Let's see if he can follow it up and get a few more goals and consistent, because he had been obviously really bad in the last few weeks and months. But that would cheer him up for sure.
Yeah, I'm glad he's cheered up. If I'm, who should be less cheery is Simeone. I don't have a problem with rotation and substitution if you have the depth, and certainly on paper they definitely have the depth to do it. But some coaches just aren't good at it, and some players don't respond in the right way. And when he rotates so much, we've seen this time and again. It's not because the guys who come in are worse than the starters, because then he mixes it up and whatever. It's just simply, I don't know if it breaks the rhythm or whatever. Oviedo are bottom of La Liga.
Yeah.
And yet Santi Cazorla and co. Shout out to Santi.
Shout out to Santi.
They absolutely put them to the sword. They deserve to win this game.
Yeah. Milan stand 10 points behind Inter in Serie A heading into the derby as they win 2-0 at Cremonese. Gab, the goals came late as well.
Yeah, there's only going to be one narrative here. If Pavlovic scored in the 90th minute and Leao in the 94th minute, and Milan still had 3.64 expected goals, which is bad finishing. And it is. Leao squandered a bunch of chances. That's just the kind of player he is. He's not necessarily that kind of clinical goal scorer.
Yeah.
And if Pulisic also has an off day, as he did, which can happen sometimes, then you're going to struggle. Cremonese are not good, but I don't think Milan are good either. And I think the fact that, and what would worry me here is, look, I'm not going to fault them for the XG. I'm going to fault them for the fact that it's still all counterattacks and individuals. Or wait for Modric to do something. The man is 40 years old. He is not your future. You should have systems of play in place that you can actually, create better chances and maybe even finish your chances. But anyway, the derby's up next, so they can cut the gap to 7 points.
Yeah, sometimes football gives us moments that pull at
our heart.
Sorry. Tell me about Romelu Lukaku scoring the late winner at Verona this weekend.
So he comes on. So Napoli playing at Verona again, a billion guys out. He comes on towards the end, scores a winner in 6 minutes of injury time. It's a win. It's 2-1. Is it deserved? Yeah, probably. But it was about what happened afterwards. He was so happy. He talked about how before being reunited with Antonio Conte in Napoli, he said, I was dead inside. And then he started talking about his father, with whom, he kind of had an up and down relationship when he was younger. Yeah. He ended up posting all these pictures of him and his dad on Instagram. His father had been a footballer for DR Congo. Actually, I don't even know if it was DR Congo at the time. Just Congo. Or maybe it was Zaire.
Zaire even, probably.
And he just breaks down crying. And to
very emotional. Very, very emotional.
See this giant of a man show this emotion, this vulnerability. I thought it was completely humbling to anybody who watched. And, on the football side, Conte's, and also, it's not like Conte's his dad, so I'm not comparing the two. But the way he spoke about Conte too, you realize some managers are just bosses. They're very good bosses. and others really just push that emotional relationship to the max. And I think it's great news for Napoli that he's back. And let's see if he can. I think he will keep them in the top 3.
Yeah.
Nope, Marseille aren't dead at all. It's just a flesh wound. Jules, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang scores twice to turn it around late against Lyon in the Olympico.
It was an incredible game. If you watched it, it was really wonderful viewing. I think the Lyon players and Paulo Fonseca will wonder this morning how they didn't at least got a point in this game. They were 5 points clear of Marseille in third, Marseille in fourth, with Lille and Nice, by the way, Lille and Rennes, winning behind, so be level on point with Marseille. So a draw would have been still great for Lyon to keep that 5 points gap. And in the end, I think there's a foul on Morton, probably on the winning goal too. And Fonseca was really angry with the referee for it.
Don't get another ban, Paolo.
But Lyon, and that's exactly what he said. He said, last time I got 9 months ban, so I'm not going to say anything. And Lyon, to be fair, they only have themselves to blame because they had enough chances to put this game to bed before.
Edric coming so close.
Yeah, and he's been great because he was everywhere. He should have scored. There was a couple of assists he should have had. There's a goal disallowed for Tolisso for an offside. We don't have semi-automatic offside in France. Didn't look offside to me, even after VAR intervened and called the offside. So I can see the frustration from a Lyon point of view for sure. Gab, we know you don't like Leipzig, but even you have to admit that Yan Diomande is pretty exciting.
Yeah,
we mentioned him last week as well.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, he's close to unplayable.
Yeah.
As exciting, I mean, he's different from Lamine Yamal. The excitement and anticipation when he gets the ball, I think he's probably faster than Lamine Yamal. He seems more two-footed than Lamine Yamal. I'm not saying he's better than Lamine Yamal.
No.
But I'm assuming he's going to be one of the centerpieces this summer of the transfer window.
I think so, yeah.
They went a goal down against Hamburg, absolutely bad. A typical Leipzig thing, chaos, boom, boom, boom. Billion chances. They missed a penalty. They went a goal down. No sweat. They still had a zillion XG. And then Romelu missed a penalty late on. Romelu, I think, scored earlier
he scored
in the game as well. This guy, 19 years old, Yan Diomande.
Great future.
Yes, not to be confused with the center back at Sporting, by the way. Betis let a 2-goal lead slip against Sevilla in El Gran Derby. Jules, kind of feel like this is where they threw away any remaining top 4 ambitions with that late chance from Abde in the post.
Yeah, they hit the post. That was a great game. First half, all Betis, lovely finish by Anthony, and then probably even one of the
overhead kick.
Yeah, it's a nice finish. It's easy.
Particularly difficult.
No, it's not difficult, but
I think the hard work was done by Abde in setting him up, or with beating the players.
Yeah. Their second goal is brilliant as well collectively, and then you think there's no way back for a Sevilla team that has been. It's been tough for them this season, and yet Alexis Sanchez, of all people, great header, really good header. And then the end is crazy because they come back to 2-2. The end is crazy with the post, massive chance as well for Sevilla to win it at the end. I think they would be happy with the draw away from home at Betis. But yeah, you're right, for Betis, they've had those kind of opportunities before and let them slip.
Lionel Messi bags 2 goals as Inter Miami come from 2 down to score 4 times in the second half, en route to a 4-2 win over Orlando City.
Yeah.
Some kind of Florida derby.
Yeah.
Jules, good thing he somehow escaped the ban after his antics last week.
He did, of course, after he wanted to confront the referee, or what it looks like on the video that we saw. After that heavy 3-0 defeat in LA against LAFC. I mean, the fact that they conceded 2 goals again and the way they played in that first half was really worrying again. And maybe it's not surprising because 1, Messi's not fully fit, and yet he's still that good in the second half, but he's not fully fit. 2, when you lose Alba and Busquets like they did in between the 2 seasons, your team is never going to be the same anyway. So I guess you win. Orlando, who are trying to sign Antoine Griezmann, obviously are not very good either, and it's 2 defeats in 2 for them. But at least from the champions, it's a first win. That's the most important. And then you go again.
MLS's explanation, by the way, for not banning him was that he's by far the biggest star we have here. So no, just kidding,
so
guys.
He's exempt.
No, they said apparently he didn't actually enter the referees.
No, he didn't go. You could see Suarez stops him before.
He didn't enter the restricted area. Yeah. Whatever. I just wonder if somebody else had done it. I don't know. Who knows?
FIFA held crisis talks this weekend after Israel and the United States attacked Iran, who replied with military actions across the Gulf and elsewhere. We're sure you've seen all the footage and that. Yeah, football is obviously relevant when people are being killed, but Iran's men's team have, of course, qualified for the World Cup this summer, and the women's team are competing at the Asian Cup in Australia too.
Yeah, so there's inevitably people are suffering, people are dying, people are in danger throughout these countries. We've seen it in Qatar, in Saudi, in Dubai. However, let alone Iran and Israel, and now today Lebanon as well. However, there's a football dimension to this. I think FIFA's attitude is, let's see how this shakes out. Iran FA saying, well, we're not going to come to the World Cup. I think the important thing to remember here is the Iranian national team, the men's team, because it has, a 100-year head start over the women's team, but the women's team increasingly too. They really are apolitical symbols. Others have tried to make them political, but they really represent Iranians everywhere, however way they feel about the regime, the diaspora around the world. And I just pray that there is a way to have them at the World Cup, and for the women who are involved in the Asian Cup in Australia as well. They shouldn't have to answer political questions beyond the obvious. Somebody asked them when they pointed out, but they didn't translate her answer in Farsi. Like, let her play football. She's not there to give you an opinion about what's happening back home. So we wait and we see, and we hope that this is over quickly with the maximum justice and minimum bloodshed. Jules, this brings us to an end.
Yeah.
But we got to come back in Thursday. We got one of the midweek Premier League rounds. Yeah. We have the Coppa Italia. We have the Copa del Rey. Can Barcelona engineer a comeback?
Exactly.
How about that? Right. So we're going to be back on Thursday. Until then, love the game, love your neighbor, love yourself.